You haven't lived on this planet until you've had to worry about and work on your credit. We've got an expert here to talk all about it. He's got his own guide he wrote. Stay tuned for this one, everybody. Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle show. You know, you can't own a castle unless you've got some decent credit.
Exactly.
I've been through that personally. I'll share a little bit of my own story. 4 years ago, the rates were down 2.5, 2.25. I got my mom taken care of. I had my mortgage license. My buddy convinced me to, and I did that and passed my tests and did all that. And I'm looking at my credit was like 605. And a lot of people know it needs to be 6. The magic 620.
Yep.
620. Toriano knows what I'm talking about. And he said, I didn't bother with it, and I couldn't get it back up, and I was working on everybody else's. And then the rates went up now, and you can't get a loan for less than 5.5, 5. Boy, take care of that credit, everybody. Now my credit's dynamite, and I would qualify. I just got a 0.9% interest on a car, and boy, wouldn't that be great? But here we are. So with that, welcome to the studio, our expert, Toriano Pride. He's the owner and founder of Paradyme. That's DYME Credit Systems that he has owned for now 7 years.
7 years, yes.
And you've been doing this for 15.
Exactly.
In the industry. So you've been doing this for a long time and really knows what he's talking about. This is going to be a good conversation, everybody. You pay attention to this one. But with that, you like Carroll House Furniture. We always give them a shout out because you like nice things in your little castle that you very likely had some credit you had to get in order, and maybe you used Toriano here in his organization because they've been around for a long time. They've got a website that looks great, lots of information out there. He just likes to help people. He'll put it all out there and give you lots of great information so you can handle this stuff. And then obviously there's a lot you're going to need an expert, and that's where he will step in. And he's got like a monthly program for everybody. So
yes.
We'll talk about that here too. Well, tell me, why did you decide to get into this particular industry? And was it something from your personal history? You're like, oh man, that was a mess, but I bet I can help other people. Tell me how you got started with all this.
I actually got started years ago. I used to wholesale property. And when I was wholesaling property, I started becoming a little successful with the wholesaling. So I started to get into fix and flip. When I got into the fix and flip, what I didn't realize is when I fix it, I had to flip it. So I had to sell it to someone, but most of the people that were trying to purchase our properties had not so great credit. So at that point, I had to kind of learn to try to help them out and put them in better situations, especially when I would take it to the realtor, and the realtor would be like, well, you know, Toriano, they got okay credit. Is going to be they're only going to get approved for like 75, 85%. Well, that's going into my money. I need them to be at 90, 95%. So we had to kind of clean their credit up and get them going. But at that time, I really wasn't educated on consumer law. So I had to kind of educate myself on that. So taking a step from there, my credit went down. So I really had to educate myself at that point.
Well, yeah, educate yourself is put it lightly, yeah. But there's just a lot of the game that has to be played. And I've learned it most recently, like this is another little personal secret incident. My credit's coming up, going pretty well, and then I just had a cruise trip we're taking. I put on a credit card. Well, that knocked me up to like 32% credit to credit utilization, and boom, went down like 80 points in one day. I'm like, what's going on here? And then how many of us deal with student loans? And I was just like, getting that letter all the time, getting that letter, forbearance, extensions, all the stuff that they make you go through, finally getting that paid down. But yeah, I mean, it's just, there's just one thing. It's like the system's set up against you. Yep. And if you don't pay attention, you're going to walk into a place and say, oh, I've got a 550 or a 602.
100%.
And you're not going to be able to get anything, much less a house or a car, are two of the biggest things that people look for. What do you think is that led to your success that helped you to develop such an effective system to help so many people by now?
Kind of what you just want to piggyback off what you just said, pretty much helping people. Because again, when I started, I was only doing it to sell that house. But now when I'm in the community, there's so many people that have below a 600 credit score. And sometimes I get calls and they're like, well, my credit's not that bad. But when you look at it, you have personal identifier issues. You have 5 variations of your name. You have 4 addresses,
Right.
35 inquiries. And
35 inquiries.
yeah, on each bureau.
Yeah.
So and people they don't understand the derogatory items that are on the credit. They're like, oh, it's okay. But like, no, it's really not.
Yeah, some of these are just basic flaws in strategy, timing. Student loans. I mean, we talked a little bit. You've got a whole guide on that alone, don't you? And how that one day they've got a 720, next day they're down 180 points.
180, easy. Just because I guess whatever went on in January, they put something out basically stating that if you don't get into this program, this is going to happen. If you don't get into this program, and a lot of people ignored it, but a lot of my clients that we got into the high 7s. Some people were, and we market nationwide, so all of my clients aren't from St. Louis, but the ones that were here in St. Louis were really, some of them were crying because they worked hard, maybe 8 months to get that 720 or 740, and now they're back down to a 560.
All in one swoop. That is something you could help with there also, right? You've got
Yes.
a whole strategy for that, and you
Yes.
can help people. But there's just a lot of things. What do you, I get into this off my beaten path. Let me stick to the plan here, but tell us a little bit about your team. You've got a pretty good group of guys working for you. Gals here, tell me a little bit about your team.
Yeah, it's 5 of us. I have an intake person. I have a mail person. I also have a VA, my virtual assistant. She handles my incoming calls. She handles more of the social media aspect, and she handles the disputes. Before, when I first started, and I hate to call them disputes, we do challenges, but when I first started, I would be in my kitchen with 1,000 letters, folding them myself. So that's
Wow.
So for 3 years, that's what I did until I was able to hire someone.
Yeah, those are where you send that letter off. They've got to answer that within 30 days, and if they don't, then you get stuff knocked off the credit. Is that a little bit?
Yeah, the first one we usually send out is called a debt validation letter.
Okay.
And we do something a little different than a lot of the other credit repair companies. When we send our debt validation, we're sending it to the other agencies as well. See, most people only think that there's TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. There's 9 other bureaus that they get their information from. So Equifax may get theirs from Innovis. TransUnion may get theirs from MIB. So what we do is we freeze all those agencies because they hold all of our information.
Wow. Okay. You had no idea. This is all part of the
Yeah.
strategy here, because there's just a lot. It's like anything. Don't try to be an expert. Hire the experts and get them to fix this for you, because by the time you're literally talking about the difference. I was just looking at, for instance, the car loan. Before, when loans were on, I bought a used car, a year or two old, and to get an 8% rate was actually pretty decent. You know, they were
Yes.
12, 14, 16%. And then I just did the numbers versus a 1%. I'm saving like $8,500 in interest.
100%.
Going from an 8% down to a 1%.
Right.
This is a big difference.
Huge.
This is what people need to be aware of when they're not taking care of their credit.
You have some people out here, man, that they'll call me and say they got a new car. And I think their want is bigger than the need. They want a BMW, but they really don't have the money to really pay for a BMW. So when they get the BMW, it's I'm only paying $950 for a '98 BMW. I'm like, you like what? Like, it doesn't make sense. So
Holy cow!
it's because the credit is bad.
Yeah, well, and so nine. Some people get, that's an apartment or maybe a small mortgage payment, and pay for a car. It's a depreciating asset, and they've got one that's already 10 years old, 15-year-old, 20-year-old.
Man, I have some clients that once we educate them and they'll call back or they'll come to the office and say, Torian, I can't believe that I was doing this, paying $600-700 for a car that really only supposed to be $250, $300 because of the credit.
Yeah, do they not look at the interest rate? Saying
They don't. Some people just
22%. They just look at the payment.
You got to think about it. If you're a single mom, 3 kids, you got to get your kids to school. You really just need the car.
Yeah. Something to get the kids to school and make sure that they can function. And
Exactly. I
everybody-
get it, but
everybody focus on that monthly payment. They don't necessarily look at the interest rate that they're paying.
100%.
How long does it normally take somebody's credit to get cleaned up a little bit? I guess it ranges across the board, but generally you can help people.
It ranges across the board, and the reason I say that credit repair is kind of like a fingerprint. Everything is so different. You may come in with, let's just say, if you had an Amex Credit One, Discover, and I have another client over here with 5 collections, charge off, LVNV, Santander. They may not even hold the actual paperwork for the debt. The collection, they may have bought that debt from Discover or whoever, and it may come off really quick. Maybe the second or third round. But your debt, just say your collections and things like that, maybe they didn't sell it. Maybe they still hold the paper, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's a juggling act about who controls it, and sometimes some of them are easier to work with than others, and some of them take it off more easily than others.
Exactly. Because Capital One, for example, they have their own collection company in-house. So when we're disputing and challenging Capital One, we know it's going to take a little longer because they hold the debt. So anything we ask for, they're going to provide it for us. Now, when they were selling the debt to LVNV, to all these debt collectors, we knew when we hit them with certain codes in the consumer law, they don't even have the wet signature. They don't have anything. They just bought a bulk debt.
Okay, so you got to learn the ins and outs about the consumer credit laws.
Yes.
And then that's what you've become an expert with, to understand this process, this step wasn't taken, this signature didn't get transferred from one house to the next, then, or I'm saying from one holder to the next, then the whole thing has to be forgiven or wiped off. And you do that times 10 or 12 or 15 or sometimes how many people, 35 bad remarks people have?
Yes. Yeah, you kind of have to know strategically what you're doing each round, because if you'll be spinning around, and because what we're doing for you is totally different from what we're doing to Miss Johnson or Mr. Everett, Mr. Culprit. Everything is different.
Okay, so you got to understand this strategy. This is why I have a big analogy for sports. I don't know if you played any sports in your background. Did you play some sports as a kid?
I did play a little bit. I played a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like every baseball game, every situation, there's thousands of different ways this thing can play out. You got to understand the one that's best for you, so you can get that runner out or get the run across the plate, and make sure that you're playing within the rules, or else they erase it and take you back.
Right.
Run doesn't count. The other day, now they're doing this replay, foul ball. I've got it on one of my chat groups. I've got this as a foul ball. This is all kind of posts about things that are out of foul territory. So I made that our foul. But he rounded it. Umpire called it a home run. They went back and reviewed it, and it just barely went foul. He had to come back and walk over. He came out and struck out. So these are the kinds of things, simulation towards life there a little bit, but play within the rules, make sure you're following. And a lot of times they're not playing by the rules, or they miss a step, like you're talking about getting a signature or transfer, or it didn't send something within a certain time frame, or those all types of things that people deal with. And you catch them and say, all right, that's got to be removed now because you didn't play by the rules.
Exactly.
There we go. An expert, everybody. That's what we're talking about. Tell me, what about this fuels your passion? Obviously, this has got to make you feel great. Taking somebody, one day they walk in, they've got a 580. 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later, they've got a 780. Tell me why you love this.
I just love helping people. My biggest thing is, like I said, when I started this, I'm passionate because I was there before. I filed bankruptcy. I foreclosed on homes. Like, I've been there. So I'm not one of those companies that can say, yeah. No, I've been there. So I've had bad credit before. I've lost a home. I've lost investment property. So I've been there.
Yeah, so as somebody who's actually experienced it, you can say you know what it feels like, and then on the other end, when you've helped somebody get through that makes you feel great.
Yes.
I'll never forget when I got my credit report and everything came back up, and I'm like, 780. Holy cow! It just makes you feel great. Now you got to do something with it, right? Make sure you keep that there and stay on top of it so you're not getting in trouble with all that. Quickly, we did a nice little scan here. AI taking over the world, but with that, I wanted to get a little information here about our guest Toriano and his company. So I'm going to put this up on the wall, everybody. Some nice things that are said there by AI. Based on available reviews, Paradyme Credit Systems, you've had a couple DBAs, is recognized to help for helping clients with low credit scores improve their profiles, often acting as a referral for mortgage lenders. Clients have described their service professional, helpful in planning their credit repair process. Hey, when AI is saying something like that about you, it makes you feel good. You're doing some good work there. It's got a list of bullet points for all of the customer experience, referrals, locality, How's that make you feel to see those kinds
Man,
of?
it makes me feels really good because I don't. How can I say this? I'm hands-on with all my clients. I'm hands-on with all of them. So if I have to go to your house, I get a lot of older clients that they don't know how to start their monitoring system. I'm really hands-on. So a lot of my clients call me even after their program is over with, and hey, I bought a four-wheeler. I'm like, oh, that's good. He was like, and I used credit to get it. I only had to put $2,500 down, or just they're always talking to me. So
Long history of helping people.
yeah,
Wake up. You sleep well at night.
yes, definitely.
All right, lots of fun. We partake in the community. I'd like to help people like Toriano here doing. We did our Billikens. Hey, the Billikens had a great run this year. Check out what we shared with these guys a little bit of our excitement. All right, everybody, we're here with the SLU basketball team enjoying this awesome event. First up, Robbie, you're a little taller than me. I guess you play for the basketball team at St. Louis University.
I do that, yes, sir.
What's your position? How long have you been on the team?
I play center. This is going to be my second year here at SLU.
Are you excited about the upcoming season?
Oh, yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be a fun season. We can't wait to get started.
What do you find most exciting about this event here today at Delwood Rec Center?
I think just seeing the community get together, seeing the camaraderie between people, on this lovely holiday. Obviously it's a big thing to celebrate, and so just seeing everybody out here together having a good time, it's awesome.
Do you think I can help you maybe with a little bit of your slam dunks maybe?
I think you can help me a lot, yeah.
All right, we'll work on that later.
All right.
Thank you, Robbie. What's your name?
I'm Dion Brown.
All right, Dion, what position you playing?
I play combo guard, sometimes small forward as well, so 1, 2, and 3.
I was not a basketball player at this level, obviously, everybody. So you shoot, rebound, dunk, the whole thing.
That's it, anything I can do.
How excited are you about playing for SLU this year?
I can't wait, it's got a great group of guys, it's my first year here, so I'm kind of meeting everyone for the first time, but I can't complain, I love it here.
How fun has this event been for you?
It's been great, we got to see people, we got to help out a little bit, taking out the trash, got to meet people, take pictures, spend time with the community, with the youth, so it's been great.
If you need any help with your three-pointer, you let me know.
Yeah, you can help me right now, actually, I appreciate that, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up.
By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule
yourself to be on the show. And there is no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer. Reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's bigleagues.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there.
So there you have it, everybody. We talked to people about get in the big leagues, get signed up here. We got a big leaguer in the studio with us right here, and you know that's the truth because you've seen the results and just what you offering to people. I mean, if I hadn't been through so much of this credit-related stuff myself, I'd say, man, if you can get somebody who knows what they're talking about. So give me a little cost analysis. A lot of people, they're going to, I don't need to deal with this, big mistake, or they're going to try to do it themselves, or their friend who's helped and has done this in the past. They need to pay to get this done correctly because they'll spend whatever they spend. It's $297 and then monthly, and then if they spend, let's say $1,200, $1,500 over a year, that could be the difference in 1 month payment for their mortgage. It's 8% instead of 6% or 5%. Just look at what that interest rate does to your late.
Think about your mortgage. Think about your car payment. Think about any type of loan that you have previous to coming to me. In 6 to 12 months, that could totally change, and all you have to do is put $297 down and $97 a month.
That seems like it's an absolute no-brainer because how often is it the case? If you just, a lot of people don't even analyze this. They're like just looking at the monthly payment. They don't realize if they'd had better credit, that monthly payment could have been $200 or $300, $400, exactly. $500, $1,000 less. Mm-hmm. We're talking about mortgages if they just had good credit.
Exactly.
And that makes a huge. Just take $500 a month times 6 months, everybody. You know what that is? $3,000.
$3,000. Yeah, they don't look at it like that.
And it doesn't end after the 6 months. They would keep paying for this loan they've got for 5 years or whatever. Yep. It makes a huge difference on somebody's financial back, or the difference between whether you get a loan or not. Like when I was trying to refinance, and it was a similar thing, but get that down to 2.5% instead of 7%. Mm-hmm. Huge difference.
Can I touch on what you just said there as well?
Of course.
Some of my clients don't understand this as well, that it's not really all about your credit score. It's about what's on your credit file. Like I have some people that'll get a 705, 711, but still can't get a loan simply because the credit, they don't have enough on their file. So it's really not the score, it's the file.
Okay.
It's kind of like that's your resume.
Gotcha.
So it goes hand in hand, but I try to educate a lot of the clients on that. But it's, again, I'm going to repeat it. It's not always the score, it's the file.
Okay, is that often the case where they've got to build some more credit? You're saying they don't have, they need to get some cars, or do they do the piggyback thing with some people? How do you?
We sell trade lines as well. So even with trade lines, we have trade lines up to $30,000. So if we have a client that needs primaries, authorized users are okay. We sell those, but we prefer them to have primaries. Go get a secured card that's coming from you. What's happening now is a lot of bankers are seeing that if I put you on my American Express, they're like, well, wait a minute, this is really not yours. This is your uncle's or this is your friend's. And we get it, but we want to see a primary from you.
Okay.
So $250 primary from your bank, and I tell people if you got $1,000, go to 4 different banks, put $252. That'll give you 4 different trade lines. That's a little trick that I do.
Okay.
That's 4 trade lines right there. Wow. That's going to boost a person that has, again, a high score with no trade lines.
So even just bank accounts or something they look at that counts.
Yes.
And if you manage those,
secured cards, I mean.
Okay.
Secured cards. We'll get you 4 secured cards from 4 different banks. Yeah.
Okay. We're learning a lot here, everybody. We got to cut through this because we got a lot more to cover. Well, tell me, obviously it's pretty clear, but why should somebody choose you? What do you do different than the rest?
Great question. What I do a little different is most credit repair companies, they string you along 18 months, 24 months to get to $97. We don't keep our lights on because of credit repair. We're really trying to help customers. So what we do is, when we target TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, we challenge every bureau at once. We're not doing TransUnion in January, Equifax in February, Experian in March. That way, it's going to string you along a long time so we can get the $97. We're targeting every bureau at once. We're trying to get you finished fast as possible.
Okay, so there's a method to this, and it doesn't matter that we got to do them one after another. They could all be done all at once. There's no reason to not go after all of them. Do you have the time and energy to do that yourself? Probably not. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to mess it up, send in the wrong paperwork. You've got every system in place for all of this.
Exactly.
And knock it out quickly. That's a game changer right there. There are no specific certifications or licenses required in your space, but there's lots of experience you bring to the table. 15 years of doing this stuff. There's a lot you've learned. How long? Nobody can get on YouTube and be a credit repair expert.
There's a lot of guys out there that try to, and I go through and I look at YouTube, the gurus, and everybody's out for a quick buck. But like I said, we're not out here we're actually really trying to help people.
Yes, you don't want to have that quick buck mentality because you get somebody's pay you for some little fix and it fixes one or two trades.
Yeah, then they come back and say, hey, this is not, no, we don't have that situation.
Go up as much. That's not the way to do this, everybody. Also, then obviously a big benefit working with you as a small business. Now you get a lot more intimate, close attention to each person's file, right?
100%. To go back to your last question, a lot of people are just working off the internet. We actually have a brick and mortar, 5494. We're on Brown Road, right off of McDonald Boulevard. So all of my clients can come knock on my door.
Right.
Somebody's going to be there.
Well, that's the key to this because small business owners make the world go around. But when you can have that personal attention, how many people have that 1-800 number they can call? Which you have, but what's going on the back end is an office of 2,300 call center people.
Exactly.
Not a small group of 5 like you have. And your file gets lost, and you got to talk to somebody else who talks to the next person who dispatches it.
Yeah, you're not gonna get a phone call from someone from overseas. You're either gonna talk to me or Danielle.
And you've got the system in place. And Danielle, how long has Danielle been working?
She's been with me maybe 6 years.
6 years, so most of the time you've been doing this, and it makes a big difference to have that attention paid on a personal level with somebody who's doing this. We got about a minute left. We'll start this question here, but we'll finish up. We're going to ask Toriano if he will stick around for another half hour because he's got lots to share here. This is one of the most knowledgeable videos, interviews we've done, and hopefully you guys are benefiting from this. But what's the biggest mistake the average consumer makes? If you could pick one big mistake people make or a couple of big mistakes, what would you say they are?
Not knowing their credit score. Just freelancing everything, going to the car dealership, let them run their credit, and that car dealership runs it 50 times. Oh, I got you a deal, but they've ran it to 49 other companies, and you get the car, but you got 50 inquiries.
And those take off 5 or 10 points
Oh
each.
man, they're dropping you low.
Yeah, I had that happen to me one time when they said, your credit is now 75 points lower just from running credit.
Yeah.
Craziness. Stay tuned for more, everybody. If you missed the shows, you can watch them on our YouTube channel, but stay tuned for this one. Check in for the second half hour. You'll see it. These will air on ABC, but if you don't see them there, watch them on our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, go to yourlittlecastle.com and click the YouTube channel link. Stay tuned.